Welcome back, all you fans, to another exciting episode of Fans Dugout. We're here today for the next exciting match, that is Rajasthan Royals versus SRH. It's another very important match for the Royals again because they're now in a do or die mode, and it's equally important for SRH as well because if they don't win this one, they can go back packing as well. So a very important clash for both the teams, and I think it'll be very interesting to see who gets on top of this one. So let's start with the SRH fan in the house today. Welcome, Samrid. How are you expecting your team to perform in this match?
Well, first of all, very frustrated, dejected after the last game. Players are not stepping up. Expecting your four overseas player to win you games each and every time is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have been harsh on Vijay Shankar, Priyam against Khalil Ahmed, and so many other players saying that they're not performing for us. What about Manish Pandey? I really don't understand why the team management is backing Manish Pandey at three. Leave aside all the pressure that is on Manish Pandey. Simply just the pressure of him taking a world class player like Kane Williamson spot at three should make him hungry to score runs, and he's not doing that. If the team management does not want to drop Manish Pandey, they can either play him at four or five. You're taking one of the world's best players spot at three, and you're not performing. That's really I don't really understand that, and I'm being very harsh on Manish Pandey because he needs to step up. He's an international player, and he's probably one of the most important players for Sunrisers Hyderabad. We have paid a lot of money on for Manish Pandey, and he has to step up, as simple as that, or he has to go out of the 11 next game. So, having said that, I still believe in my team, like we always do. We'll support our team no matter what. I still believe that we have it in us, to come back and bounce back. We have always qualified for the playoffs in the last four seasons, and we know how to win. And I'm backing David Warner to be himself, and hopefully the momentum can start from this particular game.
Yep.
I really agree with Samud on that point on about Manish Pandey because he seemed to have a lucky omen because his strike rate is so poor at the start, and then even when he starts hitting out, he seems to get out. So I would say maybe put Manish Pandey at one and then drop one of your opening pair to after the power play because that might suit you. But you don't really want to mess your opening pair up as well. So it's very similar to how we are at the Royals because obviously what we do is we change our opening pair near enough every game. So tomorrow I don't think we will change it. But I say with Manish Pandey is a big problem because then you've got Samad and you've got Abhishek Sharma. These young players that have been bailing out a player like Manish Pandey is problematic. And then obviously with the bowling attack as well, relying on just really your second string of bowlers with Bhuvaneshwar out and not having a foreign bowler, that is really hurting Sunrisers in my opinion. And in the quick bowling department.
And moving to you about Rajasthan Royals, Mr. Surinder, how do you think your team will play tomorrow's match, given how they performed in the previous match against CSK? It was an easy win. We expected a better contest, but unfortunately, it was an easy win for Rajasthan. So, how do you think that has boosted your team's confidence, and how do you think they'll come out and play this match against SRH?
Firstly, for confidence, it was a big victory for us to beat Chennai. So we've done the double over Chennai. So tomorrow we will be doing the double over Sunrisers and sending Sunrisers home. Because again, you look at the matchups in the two teams, and we have a lot of better matchups than Sunrisers. So it's going to be a difficult game. And again, I think if I fancy us in a chase now, because I think the way Smith and Butler batted in the last one, they were really, really good. And is it in Dubai? I think it's in Dubai tomorrow, which is another, we're used to that surface now. So again, our problem will be the same. Is one, the opening slots. Uthappa gave his wicket cheaply before, stupidly, and we made us sweat for the first few overs. And then whether we start with Stokes, all the fan base wants Stokes to come in at 5, but he will again open, and Sanju. So personally, I would swap Sanju and Stokes around. Sanju to open the batting because he's really good when the ball is brand new and hard. And that against tomorrow, we will play Sandeep and Khalil probably at the opening pair. So tomorrow, our biggest threat again will only be in the bowling, in my opinion, will be Rashid Khan. So Rashid Khan will come in the power play after the power play or one over in the power play. So tomorrow...
Natarajan as well.
What do you say?
Natarajan as well.
Natarajan as well, yeah. So Natarajan, but I think they will definitely bowl Khalil, maybe Khalil and Sandeep. And Sandeep played well in the last game. He bowled really, really well. But for us, the matchup at the top, our batsmen should be getting in tomorrow, and that will send us the basis for us to hit out at the end.
Yep. And moving to European, what are your thoughts on how your team will perform tomorrow in tomorrow's match?
Well, the batting was given a lot of impetus by the by the Butler and Smith partnership. We needed someone to stand still, and we needed someone to bash through, and that was exactly what happened with us in the 10th match, I guess. Right now, I think with the kind of bowling that Sunrisers has, they have variety, they have talent. There's no way we are taking them lightly. No fool would want to do that. But the thing is that I don't know how much Khalil will be playing this match. I mean, why was he absent in the last match? Probably for injury, I guess.
No, but still, somebody replaced him. I guess that was a management decision, which was
that was a management decision.
Done long back. They needed extra pace, I guess.
Okay, so if he comes back, then again, he's an international bowler, so he'll create problems. There's no doubt about that. Personally, T. Natarajan has impressed me a lot. I'd be worried about him. He's bowled a lot of dot balls, so I think probably sending Sanju up right now is going to be a good option. I mean, either send Sanju up or make him bat at number 5, replace him with Riyan Parag. He's clearly not suited for number 3 right now with the way he wants to open his account in the match.
Yeah.
So batting is still a concern. And lastly, I think I don't find any sense bowling on playing a player like Ankit Rajput or Jaydev Unadkar. If you're not going to give him more than 2 overs, then might as well play Markandeya or Akash Singh. Give them a debut for the Royals, probably.
Yeah, a lot of fans are calling for Akash to play, and again, he's a left arm bowler, which gives us the variety in our attack, which is good. And again, if he does come well, then basically for the next IPL, we've already got 2 players that have played IPL games, which will benefit us in the next IPL. Like tomorrow's game, again, if we win it, fantastic. Say keeps us alive in the tournament, sends Sunrisers home. But again, the big thing tomorrow is that 1 extra bowler place and our opening position. If we can get those 2 right, like Punjab are currently doing, they've got their settled team in. We will then finally have a settled team in and hopefully win the 4 games that we need to get into the playoffs. And that will give us the impetus to play well in the playoffs. Whereas I think even if you look at the other teams, Delhi seems to be dropping their level a bit. Mumbai seems to be dropping their level. We'll see what RCB do today with KKR. If RCB beat KKR, that will be a brilliant result for both Sunrisers and Rajasthan Royals for the winner tomorrow.
So moving to you, Samruddha, I remember you were telling Lockie Ferguson could be the X factor for KKR in that match, and he did prove out to be the X factor that day. And unfortunately, SRH couldn't kill off the game that day. What are your thoughts on how what role David Warner will be playing in the match coming up? He couldn't quite finish the innings in the previous match. Do you think he has a bigger role to play in this match?
I think first of all, I would like to say that it really feels sad when the opposition team just points out 1 or 2 players from your team. That's been the main problem, I guess. That whenever a Sunrisers topic comes into picture, the opposition team just talks about Rashid Khan, David Warner, and Johnny Bairstow, and nobody talks about a young talent. That's been the main issue. Like I said, players not stepping up and helping our main overseas player. And answering to your question, I guess David Warner's role in this tournament is, I think, a really unpredictable kind of role he's been playing in this tournament. He's not being himself. I've been telling this since day one. He's not being the David Warner we know. He's not being explosive. I mean, Johnny Bairstow did start off the tournament well, but last couple of games he hasn't been doing well, which is really putting pressure on Warner again. But I think he'll play well in this game. Like I said, we've got some scores to settle with Rajasthan Royals. Maybe that last feud which he had with Rahul Tewatia and Priyam Garg is enough to just ignite the fire back in David Warner. Hopefully, we see the beast David Warner back in this game, and hopefully he gets a big 100. And he can reply to the Bihu dance that Priyam Garg did, and hopefully he jumps in his trademark style.
Yeah, but do you expect him to get 100 when he's batting at number 5? I mean, why is he batting
No, no,
batting
he's
so
not
low?
going to be batting at 5
No.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kane Williamson opened because of the injury, and
Injury, yeah.
they felt that he could not run well between the wickets in the middle overs. So that's the reason why Kane Williamson opened in this game, and David Warner should be back opening in this game. Even if they want to play an overseas batsman in the middle order, it has to be Johnny Best who will go down, not David Warner. David
Yeah.
Warner is going to be back opening the innings next game.
I think tomorrow. I think tomorrow, Sunrise. If Kane Williamson fails the fitness test, Holder will play tomorrow, and that would give
Yeah,
you
Jason Holder. Yeah.
two more extra overs in the batting. And obviously, if you want to bat him up 4 or 5, you can bat him 4 or 5 as well because he can hit the long ball. But again, I say this game tomorrow will be decided, I think, at the opening pair for Sunrisers. If Sunrisers get off for a flyer and get a score, say 180, 185, that will be a challenging score for us to get. And again, it will depend on our death bowling. Tomorrow, the death bowling for Rajasthan Royals. Again, as Upin said, if we're only going to bowl Rajaput for 1 over, then why not bowl Markande or bring Akash in or bring in Varunaran? Because that will give us the flexibility in our bowling, which was a big problem in the RCB game. Because what he did, he should have bowled Stokes for 1 over, or he could have bowled Ryan Parag for 1 over when AB de Villiers came in, and we would have won that game. So really, the strategy, I have no problem with the players of Royals. It is the strategy we're not executing within the game, which is costing us the games. Because in the last 3 or 4 games, we've been competitive, but our strategy has been a bit dodgy, and that has cost us the game. So tomorrow, a good strategy by RR against Sunrisers, which won't be an easy game, but I on paper, I think we should really win that game. And with the form coming in, our form is now going in the upward curve.
Yep. And moving to European, do you think Ben Stokes and do you think Josh Butler and Steve Smith laying down the order is a better option for Rajasthan Royals? I mean, do you think this is a more balanced team than them trying to shuffle them up in the top order and trying to find the perfect balance or the perfect opening pair? Do you think both these guys should bat down the order so that the team can get a stable middle order? And do you think this is what will anchor the team together and probably win the game for Rajasthan tomorrow?
Well, it turns out to be something like that. Like on paper, you would never want Stokes going up and Butler coming down, but at least that's what's happening right now. And it seems like the team has gelled with it perfectly. I mean, Josh Butler's position has been a mystery for Rajasthan Royals to figure out. They hadn't managed to get it right in the first season when he played for us. They have still not managed to get it right in the third season now. But now that we have finally settled on a combination, let's stick to it. The position that still needs a few changes probably is Sanju's. I think backing him as a finisher or as an opener can help, because if you want Stokes to be the stabilizer and want Sanju to go bashing from ball 1, he can do that with the way he's doing it right now. I mean, if he just gets out, which he anyway does for low scores, it will probably just give the team more time for the next number 3, who I believe should be Riyan Parag or Manan Vora, to sort of build the innings. Apart from that, no more changes in the batting order. I think we've got a good couple of finishers as well, apart from Tiwatia. Gopal can bat, certainly. The bowling still, the fast bowling especially, barring Jofra and Tyagi, the bowling is a concern at times because our Indian bowlers aren't really that consistent. But the main concern which really bothers me is the fielding. We've had glimpses of brilliance, but we've had like some serious horrible fielding from Jofra Archer in the previous match. He's a good fielder, but those lapses, they can make any team count. So I just hope that he doesn't miss out on those things. And also Akash Tyagi as well. Is it Kartik Tyagi?
Kartik Tyagi, yeah.
Kartik Tyagi. Yeah, Kartik Tyagi. He's also had a few lapses, but he's also tried. So I think we should try to be more consistent on the field than anything else. Yeah.
That's true. And if you look at Delhi yesterday, Delhi were awful in the field yesterday.
Yeah.
Even Stoinis, which was very, very consistent, good fielder, he missed up.
Yeah.
And Pant and Prithvi Shaw, I think Prithvi Shaw is probably one of the most awful fielders that I've actually seen in the IPL. So, and again, that's really going to affect Team India, because India has to look at these fielding statistics very closely, because in the World Cup coming up, the actual fielding 11 actually can decide the game, because it's really bad. And I say Rajasthan Royals have also been guilty of some sloppy fielding. And even when they want to cut the ones into twos in a big ground like Dubai or Abu Dhabi, that is massive, because those twos are really more important than the boundaries. If you can't hit the boundaries, get the twos in. And I think that's where RCB's running between the wickets was fantastic against us. They got the twos, and they converted the ones into twos, knowing Rajasthan Royals players were seeming to be on the back foot and not chasing the ball down and being aggressive in the field. So aggressiveness and positivity in the field is crucial in the IPL.
I think that mix-up between Nicholas Puran and Mayank Agarwal was one. And then again, the mix-up between Nicholas Puran and Maxwell would have caused the game for Kings 11, but then Rishabh Pant didn't manage to get Puran out. So I think, those fielding mistakes did cost Delhi the game. And I think fielding mistakes do, result in, either making...
Just going back to Sanju on one thing. Sanju has been really unlucky with the way he's got out. I think the catch that Dhoni did, it was absolutely amazing. And I remember in the Delhi match, the catch Hetmeyer did. He got out on Hetmeyer. I think Hetmeyer got him out. But those two, other than that, he's timing the ball. But again, I think the number 3 position is the problem. You put him up the order, and you show Stokes. You go Stokes can just defend and try to get through the first few overs and then hit out. But get Sanju at opening. But then what do you do with Robin Uthappa, because he can only play as opener? So that's why I said probably maybe stick to Robin Uthappa as the opener with Sanju, and then put in Stokes in at 3. But Stokes has been hitting the ball really well as well, so he just gets out hitting his own wicket. But other than that, Stokes has done really well at the opening. He gives us that impetus, that burst at the start. But again, we can't just lose the wickets in the power play, which is our biggest Achilles heel in this IPL.
Yeah. And moving to you, Samrat, who do you think might make the difference for Rajasthan Royals in the matchup? Do you think it will be Jofra Archer, or do you think there's someone else who can steal the game away from your team?
By looking how Lockie Ferguson dismantled our batting order last game, I think it will be Jofra Archer who will be the X factor for Rajasthan. I hope that our batsmen can play him well. I hope that our top order performs, and maybe the likes Priyam Garg or maybe Vijay Shankar are not exposed to Jofra Archer as much. I think if David Warner and Johnny Bairstow do the job at the top, I think we should be able to maybe just take care of 4 overs from Jofra Archer, even if 20 to 25 runs, and not giving him wickets, like how opposition team do with Rashid Khan. If we can just cover up those 4 overs of Jofra Archer and not give him wickets, and maybe we can capitalize on if Unadkat plays, that would be helpful for us, or whoever plays. And I think we should be able to catch up later in the innings.
Yeah, I don't think Unadkat will play tomorrow, unfortunately, Samut. But I think like tomorrow again, the good thing what we could do tomorrow, and I think it's a good plan, is obviously bowl two of Jofra at the front, and then also bowl Shreyas Gopal coming in to bowl a couple in the power play as well, because he's been really, really good the last 2 games. So that could be something that we could do. Or if we get Akash or Varun Naran in tomorrow, is basically just bowl one of those players, bowl them three overs, and just leave 1 for the death over. But leave 2 of Jofra and 1 from the quicker bowlers at the death over, or even say Kartik, a couple of overs from Kartik at the end, Kartik Tyagi. That's how we won. But if we take the wickets right up top, early couple of wickets tomorrow, that will put a lot of pressure on Priyam Garg, and he would put a proper on Abhishek Sharma and Abdul Samad. So those 3 middle order young batsmen, if they are blasting off, if it's okay for them to bat carefully, I think they are really good. But if they have to manage the game, losing Kane Williamson tomorrow will be a big blow for Sunrisers.
Yeah, I think
one more thing. Samrud, do you think that the management doesn't really give that much amount of responsibility as far as batting is concerned to Rashid Khan? I mean, I think he should just he should go up compared to what position he gets down at. Probably after Priyam Garg or something, because Abhishek Sharma, I know he's been there for a long time, but he takes some time to settle in. So if you want a finisher and you have one of his caliber, might as well send him up.
I think that was going to happen when Abdul Samad didn't play. I think if Abdul Samad was not there in the playing 11, I think Rashid Khan would have definitely played that role coming in at 6 or 7 if we had a good start. But I think since we have Abdul Samad and he's been striking the ball really well, I think that's what is pushing Rashid Khan a bit low in the batting order. But I completely agree with you. He's a fantastic finisher. I still remember in 2018 or 2019, he won us a game against KKR. He scored around 34 runs in 15, 16 balls.
Yeah, that semi-final.
I
Yeah.
completely agree with you. He's a very good finisher, but I think, in my opinion, I think the presence of Abdul Samad is what is pushing him down the order.
And again, it's really good to see a player like Abdul Samad, and as a neutral fan, that you can see the talent there. And again, it's only going to get better. So, and again, credit to Sunrisers management team for having faith in these young players. Again, the Boovi injury has been a massive blow for Sunrisers, because that's really the key bowler. If we were to lose Joffre to injury, we would be, I have to say, we would be probably at the bottom of the league, because there is just nobody who can really replace Joffre's experience, wicket taking, and ferocity in our team. So Joffre is key, but so will be Joss and Steve Smith. If Steve Smith plays the way he played in the last match, just take the singles, rotate the strike, get your eye in, and be able to blast off at the end. We are a very, very difficult team to beat.
We've got a player called Virat Singh as well, who probably did really well in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. I don't know why the management is not giving him a chance. He played for Jharkhand. He's probably third or fourth highest run scorer there. He's a really good player. I think they should play him instead of Priyam Garg.
Do you think Priyam Garg should bat up, like replace Manish Pandey's position with Priyam Garg, considering Manish Pandey?
I actually feel what I feel is Kane Williamson, if he plays, should play at 3, Manish Pandey at 4, Priyam Garg at 4, and Manish Pandey at 5. I think Manish Pandey should learn that he needs to score runs to keep his place at 3. Like I said, he's taking Kane Williamson's spot. He's not doing anything for us. He should be sent down now. It's high time. You can't keep going with Manish Pandey at 3. Kane Williamson is, the Trevor Bailey said that, the reason why Kane Williamson is staying at 4 is because he wants Kane Williamson to play with the youngsters so that he can share his experience. That can be done by Manish Pandey as well. He's an experienced player now at international level, and he's got the skills, to share his experience with the younger players. And I seriously believe Kane Williamson has to be back at 3. As simple as that. Manish Pandey has to go down.
And again, it does affect your overseas balance, doesn't it? Because having 3 batsmen and the wicketkeeper, obviously, in your top half is like we were having with Joss Smith and now Stokes, having all your foreign players right at the top, leaving everything to your Indian inexperienced players at the bottom. You've got to try to.
But you guys get a good all-rounder in Ben Stokes, which we don't have. That's the main.
We haven't seen him perform that well yet.
But Ben Stokes is Ben Stokes. But I think the presence of Ben Stokes will definitely be a huge one for Rajasthan Royals. If we would have had a great all-rounder like Ben Stokes in our team, we would have perfectly balanced our squad. Imagine Ben Stokes in Sunrisers, you would have David Warner, Johnny Bairstow, and Ben Stokes. So that would have been brilliant for us. Or even
and I think with Ben Stokes again, the fact is that the bowling is as important as the batting. So now the first game he played, he only bowled 1 over. Second game he bowled 2 overs. Last game he bowled 3 overs and 1 out of the death, which he wasn't expensive at, meant that we were able to win that game. Whereas before we have not had that option, because at the end of the game, Ankit Rajput or it'll be JD and Adkat would have 2 overs at the death, and those 2 overs would cost between 15 and 20 runs. And in the last case against RCB, 26 runs, which changed those games. So having Ben Stokes as this open thingy, obviously his level is better than Tom Curran's, and so for us it's the big plus. And again, now he's had 3 games or 4 games. I think after a couple of more, if we win today, Ben Stokes' form will go up.
Yeah.
I'm confident.
One question to Rajasthan fans. How would you guys see what would happen if Sunrisers do not lose a wicket to Jofra Archer, and if his 4 overs go for maybe 30 odd runs? Would you feel that it would be a big problem for you guys if Jofra Archer doesn't strike at the top, not getting wickets of Warner and Bairstow?
Yeah, it could be. It could be, because the fact is, I think Warner plays spin well. I think Bairstow's a bit more dodgy with spin. If once he's got his eye in, he seems to be able to hit the ball. But that's why I said I would start tomorrow. Maybe a couple of overs of spin right up top, and that will do it. I think Punjab are doing it with Maxwell. Maxwell bowls the first or second over, and they bowl him out, which is really good. So again, in the last game, Tewatia bowled well, Gopal bowled well, and that's what I'm saying. If Markanday comes in, that will give us the extra 4 overs of spin option as well. So even if he bowls 1 or 2 good economical overs, then it will be fine. But the problem again tomorrow will be how good Bairstow and Warner bat. If they say get 100 after 8 or 9 overs, then you will get a score of 185, 190, and that will put a lot of pressure on our opening pair, especially if we lose the 3 wickets up top. That's what I think. Upyan?
Well, I totally agree with you. Just one question to Samrud. Is Sunrisers camp missing Kane Williamson's composed leadership right now? What do you think?
Well, I don't think so. His leadership, because he's always been a part of the leadership group whenever David Warner's captain as well. You always see them both discussing, but I think his leadership, somewhere down the line, I can say we miss it, because when he was a leader in 2018, we saw a different version of Kane Williamson. He went out to open the batting. He was very aggressive. He scored around 700 runs. So maybe 50-50 on that answer, but I don't really know what to say. I do miss it, but having said that, he's always been a part of the leadership group, so I really miss
you
Kane
can see
Williamson.
that you can see that during the matches, and it's quite similar to what Owen Morgan was doing with Dinesh Karthik, because obviously those 2 players, and although they swap places, everything goes through Dinesh Karthik and everything goes through Owen Morgan now. And again, when you have the foreign captain, the biggest challenge is to how that person is going to inspire the younger Indian talent whose English may not be the greatest. And that's why I think it's the successful captains in the IPL have always been the Indian captains, because they can up the level. We can say things in English, and I'm coming from England. I can say stuff in Punjabi or Hindi. It doesn't have the same influence as if somebody else who knows those languages really well to motivate them will happen. Yeah. So again, it's that situation of getting the right balance, and that's why I'm saying even with the Rajasthan Royals coaching background, we don't seem to have the high profile players like in the leadership group as in that. Because I think that would make a big difference, and we see it with Punjab. They have Andy Flower, they have Wasim Jaffer, they have John T. Rhodes, and they have Kumble. And whereas the other franchises, they seem to have at least 2 seriously experienced test players, international players within their ranks, within their management team, and that will do it. And especially you have Bayliss. Bayliss is the England international manager. So you've got all these talent. VVS Lakshman in your background group, Murathan in your background group. That is the experience where the young Indian players would benefit more.
Yep. I guess with that, we'll have to conclude, Samrud. We just have less than 1 minute remaining. So
Okay, fine.
we'll definitely have your questions up for the next meeting. So until then, hopefully we get to witness a great match, and hopefully may the best team win, so that we get to witness another exciting matchup.
It's it's definitely Rajasthan Royals, the better team.
You got your facts today. Good to know. So thank you so much for joining in, guys. I'll definitely catch up with you the next time, and have a great day, and have a great match. So see you next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.